All right, you guys, so the way I'm gonna cut my hair, I'm gonna give myself a skin fade on the back and sides, and I'll do a 1 on top. I usually do a 1.5 on top, but I wanna go a little bit shorter being that it's quarantine time, and I just wanna try to keep it looking fresh for a little bit. So I got my Gamma Ergos. I'm gonna put them in the closed position on your lever. You're gonna see that you're gonna be able to open it and you're gonna be able to close it. And this is standard across whatever clipper you're gonna use. Put your clip on, that's my number 1 guard. It's gonna leave the hair a 1/8 of an inch long. So this hair has been driving me crazy. I'm sure many of you, it's been driving you crazy too. This was sent to me, this clipper was sent to me by a sponsor. And if you see how fast I'm trying to move, I'm actually trying to put it to the test. I want to see how powerful it is. And as you can see, I was able to whip through that really quick, and it really didn't take me much time to get all the hair. Feels really smooth too, despite how fast I'm moving. So I'm just going to begin at the top, follow the contour of the head, try to keep the blade as flat as you can, and eliminate all that hair that sticks out. If you guys are on a budget, a great machine to use to both do some manscaping and remove any hair and all hair is a Slimline Pro, or you can get the Slimline Pro Li for just a little bit more expensive. But this is a great machine that you guys can keep forever to use to trim your beard at different lengths, underneath your neck. If you have sensitive skin and you want to do a shave, great machine all the way around. So once you set this machine up right, I'm going to begin by removing all the hair on the sides of my head. Starting down here, working my way up. Now if you hold this trimmer in this position, it's going to be a little bit harder for it to cut, but it's going to be easier for you to get this line out. So once I come towards the top here, I want to start just coming straight off the head. So coming straight off the head. Alright, and I've removed all that hair. This hair that's towards the bottom, just get rid of it. It's all gone. Now, if you choose to go with something different, something a little more quality or whatever, it really doesn't make a difference because all trimmers cut at about 5 zeros if they're set up properly. So I'm going to switch to this machine just to get it done a little faster. But again, unless you're a barber, you really won't need to buy the most expensive tools. You're not using them all the time. So you're just going to be using them for this time during quarantine, or maybe to cut your kids' hair once in a while. You want to just make sure that your lines, the lines that you put in, I tried to soften my lines. I don't want to put in too harsh of lines because I know that most of the people who are watching this are going to struggle with getting them out. So as I came up kind of loosely, and I know that the general amount of hair that's around the back and sides of my head, it's a little rough, but at least it's not a harsh line to remove. Except for maybe in the back a little bit, but even if it is a little bit hard to remove, we'll get it out with our clippers. So just make sure that you got all those hairs gone, and we can step to the next step. Okay, you may or you may not have an electric shaver, and if you don't, that's fine. You can actually just use a razor in the shower, a little bit around the back and sides of your neck, and just a little bit around your sideburns and stuff. And it's not going to be too noticeable. You're going to be able to get away with using that razor. But if you do have an electric shaver, this is actually really easy. All right, you see where I stopped? I stopped right here. All right, I'm gonna go up with it. I'm gonna cut all that hair off and begin to flick away so that my hair is entirely gone on the side of my head. You can buy this machine for fairly cheap now. These are really, really good machines. They last a long time. They're made in the United States by Wall, and I'll put the link in the description for them. So as I make my way up to the top of the head, I begin lightening my pressure, flicking out, flicking away, or you can come down with the grain. Alright, so now you can feel around the back and sides of your head and see if you missed any hairs. I can feel right here that I missed a little bit, so I'm going to get that. Alright, I can feel that all that hair has been eliminated on the back and sides of my hair. So it's pretty much time to just blend this line out, and I also need to blend my beard in. So super, super easy to blend your beard in. I'll show you how to do that real quick. Put them in the open position, and we're just going to travel right over where the bulk of this line is. I'm going to start right down here about middle of the ear and push up. Alright, it's not going to get rid of it. It's just going to soften it. Alright, now I'm going to click it one click. That's what makes it super easy with these gammas. The clicks can kind of help me. So when I click it once, I want to stay a little bit higher than I was. So when I had it all the way open, I was down here, right? I click it once, I want to come here. I click it once, I want to come a little bit higher. I click it a few more times, and I'm all the way at the top, knocking it out. So now, I just tap this upside down, get that completely gone. It really doesn't take much time to blend your beard back in. We're actually pretty close to done here, so stick with me. Next step, put the clipper back in the open position, and we're going to go right up the side of the head now. And if you notice, like, I'm essentially just coming straight off the head all the way up until the clipper is forced to ride off of my head up. But I'm staying anchored on the head, holding the clipper flat, and you're going to see how quickly you can knock out this line with this process. All right, so really try to get in there with that one. Alright, so I did that with it open. I'm going to click it once. Now, when I had it open, I was all the way up here, right? When I click it once, I'm going to work in this area. Okay, so I'm going to click it one time, and I'm going to go almost where I was before, but I'm going to stay a little bit lower. And each time that I click this, I stay a little bit lower than I was in the previous step. I'm going to click this again, and I'm using just the corners of the blade, lifting it off the head, being real careful not to create other lines, and again, following my clicks and staying in my area. So now I got it all the way down, last step. And you're going to see that that line's going to be pretty much gone. How's it looking, Chad? Good. Looking good? Alright, that line, pretty much gone. Now, while I'm working on this side just for camera purposes, I'm going to jump to the next step up. The next step up is your half or your 1/16. Repeat the process. Open it wide up. Come all the way up. Now just so you know, this, with the clipper in the open position, is very close to the number 1, which I originally cut the top with, in the closed position. So when I put the number 1 in the closed position, that is pretty much the exact same thing if I have the half on and I open this in the open position. Alright? So that means that you can safely go all the way up. You can listen for it to cut. It's not cutting anything. And I'm going to click it down and do the same process that I did before. Staying a little bit lower each time that I click that thing. Actually really easy to cut your own hair like this. I mean, it really takes a little bit of practice, but for the most part, very easy. All right. Now the back is challenging, but it's easy to knock out the sides. Same steps. Clipper in the open position. Travel up. Let it rock right off the head. Over time, you'll get to know your own hair, and you'll kind of know what direction to move what in. You know, like I know where my cowlicks are. I know how they tend to behave after they're cut. So with this side, you notice how it blended the line almost all the way out. One click, and we're gonna begin the same process again. That's why in that initial step, it wasn't a big deal if you put your line in a little bit messed up, because we were gonna travel through with this clipper. We're gonna iron out all the kinks and make sure that the haircut looks good. All right, and again on this side, the exact same thing that we did in the previous step. We're gonna put our half guard back on, open it all the way up, and eliminate whatever line there might be. There might not really be nothing in this step. It's cool. Just do it anyways. Just make sure it's good. Okay, so I'm happy with the way the back and the sides look, and I need to do the back now. Okay, so in the back, I want you to begin your same steps all over again. Let's go back to the number one, put your clipper in the closed position, and we're going to travel through this hair and make sure that we got all of that cut down to a number one first. Keep good pressure on the head and make sure that you're really getting the best out of your number one. Well, any guard for that matter. You want to make sure that you're getting the proper distance so that all these will blend together smoothly. All right, now that dissipated the line a lot, and I'll actually just repeat the same process. Open taper, no guard, clean this up. Now you can see that my grain pattern kind of swoops this way, so typically what I do is I just come against it. And I'll begin the click process. So I just clicked it once, stay a little bit lower. Click it once, stay a little bit lower. And I'm gonna click her all the way down. And stay right around that area where you made that initial line. That's looking pretty good. I might have to come back to this step, but I'm going to jump to my half guard, open it all the way up, and see what the half guard does. Make sure that I'm in good shape here, and then I can return back to that guard if I have to. All right, so half guard, I clicked it once, click it again. We started with it in the open position always, and now I'm on down. I got it all the way down. How's that look, Chad?
Good.
Does it look clean? All right, so it's possible that when you put your initial line in, if you put a really harsh line in, it might be difficult to get it out. So there might be an additional step that you might need, and I'll do anyways just to show you, is you might need to return to the thing that you originally put the line in with. So if that was your trimmer or if that was your clipper, return to that and just gently go over the area, tipping it sideways, using only the corners, because you don't want to create another big line here. So wherever you got to go, you know, if you see anything, just go do it and hit it a little bit. If you make another line, you return to your other clipper. All right, so now I'm kind of just noticing here and there, just looking for anything that's not perfect. I see a little something here. Begin in the open position, begin tapping it down little by little until what you're working on comes out clean. I gotta say, these Gamma clippers felt great on my scalp the whole time. And didn't feel any like tug, any pull, any irritation. You guys seen how fast I moved. The last step for me, because my hair is starting to decide that it doesn't want to stay on my head no more, I'm going thin here and here. So I still have a lot of hair right here though. So I actually want to make sure that I come against the grain really good there with that number one. And I actually do a little trick. It's called a front fade. Jump down another step. I'm going to open this up, and I'm just going to travel over that thick area, make it slightly shorter so that it sort of blends in with the thinning that's going on with the rest of my hair. And that's really going to help when I go back through and I do my edge up. Take out just a little hair as possible, really. You don't need to take a whole lot. Depends on how bad your hairline is to begin with. And work your way out to the edges. If you guys are wondering why I'm not using my Gamma for this, it's because I sent it out to Ant the Barber. I want him to experience those trimmers. Straight razors are actually really easy to use. With a little bit of practice, you can get good at it too. When you've done what you can do with the straight razor, you want to just go back with your trimmer and just hit any of them little hairs that hang over. Everybody's got a side of their hair that works out a little better than the other. You know, I'm kind of going bald a little bit on my left side. I just want to shave around my ear, so I'll just pull my skin tight, shave around my ear. You guys can do this with a Bic in the shower. If you don't have a beard, it's a little bit easier. It's a lot easier for me to just use a straight razor and just get myself all around the neck and stuff like that. Alright, and for me, last step, I'm just going to edge up my beard real quick. And read it.
Wait a minute, before you guys go, I want to invite you to hit that bell, hit subscribe, and stick around because we're going to go live all the time. It's far more interactive, it's a lot more intuitive, you'll learn a lot more, and we'll go through this video and many others as we continue to grow. We build off each lesson from the last week, so don't miss out on that opportunity. It's free, it's fun, and we're going to have a good time and a lot of guests, and we do giveaways. So I encourage you guys, hit subscribe. Other than that, man, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Peace.